Hello there, everyone. Zantok here with Select Star Gaming, and welcome to another episode here of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Continuing on from the stream archive footage that I played a while back, but let's go ahead and kick it off to Past Me, who's going to be continuing through the game. Take it away. Okay, let's check our flow. Okay, we're down to here now. So now I want to save, and I'll go back up here. We're going to try and see if we can go through door 3. And then, in theory, it'll take us all the way straight down this line. And we'll get our final ending. So, let's save the game. Torture room. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, game. We're in the torture room now. Let's go to here. And choose the 3 room.
I want to go through door number 3.
Nope, you can't.
Well, fuck you.
Huh? Why?
Because it's impossible.
How?
If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3.
Why?
The bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 2 combinations that can go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8. That's it.
Okay, I feel to see the problem.
Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door.
I see. That means one team would get left behind.
That's right.
That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8?
No, they're fine. We've got 3 options.
Santa began to explain.
Option A, have 3, 5, and 8 go through door 7, and 4, 6, 7 go through door 8. Option B, 4, 5, and 7 go through 7, and 3, 6, and 8 go through 8. Option C, 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8. Those are the only 3 options. That's it. At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here.
Wait.
That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams. 3, 5, 8, and 4, 6, 7. Plan B divides into 2 teams. 4, 5, 7, and 3, 6, 8. Plan C divides into 2 teams. 3, 6, 7, and 4, 5, 8.
That means
There was one thing they all had in
5 and
common.
6 can never be on the same team. If we want all 6 of us to go through a door, then June and I can't go into the same one.
June and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. But that's something he was prepared to do.
Have you mulled it over enough, or do you need more time? Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die. So what are you gonna do? 7 or 8? Time to choose.
Junpei thought hard. After thinking over, his conclusion was... take the risk and choose door 3.
Sorry, Santa, but I still want to go through door 3.
What? That's nuts! You've gotta be crazy!
It's fine! We got alternate universe knowledge! Everybody will be fine!
Why the hell are you so obsessed with that door?
I'm just...
Call it a feeling. Junpei paused. He swallowed the words he'd been about to
I'm
say.
just curious about door 3. That's all.
That doesn't explain shit!
I've got a reason. I'd be happy to explain it to you if you'll just come with me.
With that, he began walking toward the door. Their curiosity likely getting the better of them, the others followed. A few of them looked a little suspicious, but Junpei told himself that wouldn't matter. He kept walking and kept silent. Eventually, they arrived at the number 3 door. Junpei stopped.
I'm curious about the red. 7, would you mind authenticating for me?
Why?
Please, just do it.
He stared at Junpei for a moment, then grunted and laid his palm heavily on the scanner.
Happy?
Yeah, thanks.
The number 7 has been entered into the red.
Next is June. Please touch the red just like 7 did.
Junpei, what are you trying to figure out?
Yep. I think
Junpei thought about his answer for
I
a
think I
moment.
might have found another way out.
Wait, what?
What?
Really?
That got them excited. We are bluffing our ass off. Just as Junpei had
Now,
intended.
please, June.
Oh, okay.
With those numbers in the red, Junpei had what he wanted. He casually placed his own hand on the scanner, and the third asterisk blinked on.
All right. The only people who haven't authenticated now are Santa, Clover, and Lotus.
So, what's your point?
You don't get it. Think about it.
Huh?
What's the sum of your number and Clover's?
12,
And what's the digital root of that?
3.
Which is Santa's number. By the way, Lotus, what's the number that's currently in the red?
7 plus 6 plus 5 equals 18. It would be 9, right?
Yes, and what will the digital root be if you add 3 to that?
3. The door's number.
There you go.
Hey, wait a minute. What the hell are you up to?
I'm not up to anything. I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
I'm waiting for the balance to shift.
What? What?
Santa, or Lotus and Clover. Once one of you moves, the others won't have a choice. So I'm waiting.
Ah, Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever.
You son of a bitch! You tricked us! All that stuff you were going on about is all bullshit!
Bullshit. Huh. I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figured out another way to get out of here? This is it.
Why the hell would you do something like this?
Junpei glanced at June.
Jumpy.
You did this just so you could go through the same door as June. That's it?
Santa was furious. His face was red and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. Junpei closed his eyes calmly and then opened them again.
So, who's it going to be? Santa or Lotus and Clover?
Shit!
Let's go, Clover.
Huh?
Lotus leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei and the door.
Fuck!
Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment, then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. This is amusing considering what we know about him in June. Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and
No,
Clover.
wait.
Santa did not hesitate.
Ah!
He slammed his hand down on the red.
This is insane! This isn't right!
It's fine. We're gonna loop back around. Calm your fucking self. He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving.
Well, you may be right.
Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort. He turned to the red and pulled the lever. With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain so for 9 seconds. There was no time to think. Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped to the door's gaping mouth, one after another. Holy shit. No sooner did they enter that than an all too familiar noise sounded from their left wrists. The detonators had activated. Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door.
No.
They stood still, stopped where they had been when Santa reached the red. The defeat and desperation on their faces tore at Junpei's heart. Then the door closed, and they were gone. Junpei chooses chaos. Yes, he did.
Hey, this isn't fair!
Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes, and his knuckles white.
Do you realize what you just did? You leave them out there, and they can't...
Shut it! That's enough!
It had been Junpei that spoke, but 7.
Gotta find the dead or none of this is gonna matter!
The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would be...
Got less than a minute left! No time for screwing around! Get moving!
Damn it! You and I are not done yet, bastard!
They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found.
Where the hell is it?
Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but every one was blocked off by a wall of metal. There's only one way out. One other door.
Over there! It's gotta be behind the door!
Seven ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled.
Damn, it's pitch dark inside.
Can't see a thing!
Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the room.
Wait,
Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right wall.
found it! The dead's right over here!
He stepped into the room,
Ugh.
and over a body.
What? The floor's slippery.
He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What was...
What the hell are you doing?
There's something...
Get over there!
Junpei felt Seven's heavy hand against his back and stumbled across the room. LLR. The other three piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. But there was no time to say so.
Get to the dead!
They all started running. In the dark, he always tried to tell where the wall was. All they could see was a tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over.
There it is!
In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel. Seven leaned against the wall, gulping air. As his breathing began to return to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted.
It stopped. It stopped.
Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's face.
I don't think I'll ever get used to doing this.
What the...
The sound of retching came from Santa's direction.
What the hell is this smell? This is vile. I'm gonna puke.
So desperate had they been in their race to the or the dead, rather, that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was a terrible, nauseating stench, like burnt and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took.
Oh, you're right. This is...
The opportunity to check the flowchart. Yep, cool. We are on this side. Awesome. We've done it. We just got to keep going in a straight line. That's easy enough, right, guys? That's hell yeah. He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his throat.
Let's get the lights on first. There's a switch over here.
The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated a small switch plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked toward it. Oh. That sound. He stopped as he got close and extended his fingers toward the
Okay,
switch.
guys, I'm flipping it on.
There was a soft click as the lights came on. Just as the light turned on, June took in a short breath and... A scream echoes through the room. Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat. Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before.
What? Hey. Oh, this is...
What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Oh, nobody's planning on eating spaghetti tonight. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it.
Looks like an explosion.
Steven's voice is low and strange.
Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his breast that set off the bomb in his gut.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. Please, I didn't eat dinner yet. Well, that's your mistake. You might want to have something that doesn't have a red sauce tonight. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
This is the worst.
Yeah, can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
Is that... Snake?
Santa's voice wavered as he spoke, his mouth dry.
Oh my god.
Finally, Junpei spoke.
Why did this happen?
Suddenly, June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream full of insanity and not entirely human.
No! No! No!
She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of hair tearing.
Calm down.
He grabbed for her wrist.
Hey!
But as he did, June leapt up and ran toward the exit.
Please! Get me out of here! You have to let me out of here!
She screamed at the door and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood on her knuckles.
Why are you doing these horrible things to us? What did we do to deserve this?
Hey, this is your fault!
June.
She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fist flailed against the door.
Get me out of here! Please! Please! Just let me out!
June.
Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door.
Calm down.
No! Get off of me! Let me go! Let me go!
Please, calm down.
She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared, and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. June collapsed towards the floor, and Junpei knelt down with her. He felt drops of something warm and wet. Was she crying? A moment later, she began to sob. Her shoulders shook, and great hot tears rolled down her face like rain.
We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright, June. It's going to be okay, Connie.
Her name was a
I'll be
whisper.
here with you, okay?
She nodded
Thank
once.
you. Thank you so much, Junpei.
Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her hair gently. His face was so close to her. The scent of her hair was nostalgic.
Do you feel
That's
better?
creepy. That's
Yes. But I'd like to stay here. For a little while, at least. Junpei's body is so warm.
Several minutes passed before June's tears had dried. Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms around June's, and helped her to her feet. They didn't speak. Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead. They'd all died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no way he could make himself forget that. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead.
We better get to it.
There she is again. The shower room. Santa be like, hey, that's my sister. Yeah. Maybe, we think. There's still some weird shit going on with that. And I get the feeling there's never going to be an explanation. Although you can bet there's going to be an interrogation with Killer Jelly at some point. Be like, listen, dude, give me some fucking answers. Either give me answers or tell me that the answers are in the next game. The divider behind between the stalls, actually. On the other side of this wall. No, I don't want to think about that. Well, then let's go over there. Oh, that's where we came in. It's not locked, but there isn't really any point. All that's out there is the numbered door. Can't go back to the numbered door even if we wanted to. Those letters written in blood. LLR. I think there might be some sort of dying message from Snake. No, that's impossible. You saw the body. You aren't doing anything after something like that happens to you. Then this. The way the blood's dried tells you it's real old. Whoever's blood this is, it ain't Snake's. Then you're saying this blood was put here a long time ago? Yeah. But what does it mean? Alright, let's see if anything happens to turn you on. Nothing. Not even a drop. Is the pipe clogged? Well, let's try the other one. I said let's try the other ones. Water coming out of the shower head. Let's see if... Shit, that's hot. Really hot. And that water must be just about boiling. There's a piece of paper tied to this pipe with a wire. Notice, drainage valve operation. Please do not flush the water in these pipes. Doing so may cause the drain to overflow. Boy, that would just be terrible. Oh dear, I hope I didn't break it. Well, now I know that really, really hot water comes out of that shower. Maybe we should just leave it alone for now. Okay, well I guess that's a puzzle that I don't have a solution for yet. Fine. Okay. That's interesting. It's toilet paper with some kind of red symbols on it. I think maybe that's a Scytail cipher? Sickle? I don't know. Scytail cipher? What the hell is that? Oh, you have a piece of paper on a stick and then write several sentences on it so that the whole paper is filled up. Then you unwrap the paper and you can't tell through to the message was, right? That's how it works, more or less. Then to decipher it, you gotta have a stick same diameter as the original one. Same diameter as the original one, huh? Yeah. Then you just wrap the paper around the stick and you can read the code. Makes sense. A wooden box. Something in here. Luminol! I know what this is! We're Ace Attorney now! Huzzah! What the hell is this thing? Some kind of spray bottle? There's something written on it. I can't read anything else. The label's all faded. Oh, let me see that. You just grabbed it from... That wasn't very nice. Oh, this is luminol. You know, forensics guys use it at crime scenes. Oh yeah, that's what that glows blue when you spray it on blood. Even if the blood's been wiped off, it'll still glow. Luminol. Wait, you don't really think we're supposed to use the luminol here, do you? I mean, it does seem kind of weird to use it here. But maybe I should try just in case. Alright, I spread it on the wall. What next? We turn the lights back off? Where the hell were the lights? That's the lights? Nope, that's a lock. That is... I don't know what this is. Oh, it's the thermometer. Okay. Can you get it off? No. It's screwed onto the wall. Okay. Do I not have the... Well, I guess I used the luminol how I was supposed to, but nothing else appeared. Maybe I just need to steam up the room then. I don't know. I checked all 3 toilets, you know. Nothing unusual there. I'm gonna be a dick about it. Broom. Junpei reached for the broom. As he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him. It was
the
June.
Rabbit hutch.
Huh?
He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a smile on her face.
You just reminded me of it. The rabbit hutch, I mean.
How did I remind you of something like that?
Jumpy and the broom. You're always playing around with the broom in front of the rabbit hutch.
I was.
Don't you remember?
No. Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
You mean you don't remember that summer either?
She looked very sad. He shook his head.
Of course I remember. How could I forget something like that? It was terrible.
Are you talking about how we learned that the rabbits were murdered by some asshole kids? They were in the 6th grade. Junpei and June had been assigned to take care of the classroom pets, the rabbits. Their chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches. No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea why until he looked behind her, into the rabbit hutch. The first thing he saw was blood. The hutch was filled with the dead bodies of the rabbits. These kids are fucking monsters. Jesus. Even after their teachers and friends came to see what the commotion was, June couldn't stop crying.
I just kept crying and crying until you came over. You held my hand, and you looked very serious, and you said, "Don't cry. I'm gonna catch the person who did this."
We did find them, and they beat the shit out of us.
After you told me that, I finally stopped crying.
Well, the real fun started after you quit crying. You told me we were gonna catch the killer together.
Technically, again, we did, and they beat the shit out of us. June smiled, and a little of the flush of life returned
Then
to her
we
cheeks.
decided that we'd ambush them.
That did not go well.
I remember.
The school also kept roosters and guinea pigs. Junpei and June decided the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night. Junpei and June hid behind the hutch at dusk and waited. It was a warm summer night. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky. And June's Nakane Kuroshiki's face. That night was something Junpei knew he would never forget as long as he lived.
But the murderer never showed up. We waited for them all summer vacation, and they never showed up.
Yeah, but the animals didn't get attacked either. I think all that work amounted to something, you know?
It's fair. He felt the same way, but it was good to hear her say
Although,
it.
you know, if you think about it, we were probably taking on a lot more than we could handle.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She looked up at him confused.
Come on, we were just kids. If whoever killed the rabbits had actually showed up, they probably would have had a knife or something. I mean, you must have been pretty worried, right?
I wasn't worried because you were there with me.
She blushed furiously.
Well, you know, no one else wanted to take care of the animals.
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change the
I was
subject.
the only one who asked to do it at first.
Yeah, well, boys don't really want to bother with taking care of animals, you know?
Now, speaking for yourself, asshole.
Well, yeah, but you asked to do it after I did, didn't you?
Yeah, he didn't ask because of the animals, let's be real.
If it wasn't the rabbits, they were gonna make me do something else. You know how that school was. I figured it'd be better if I was working with somebody who wasn't too much of a loudmouth, right? Somebody who wasn't gonna tell on me if I felt like blowing it off.
Wow.
Really? That's why you volunteered?
Yeah, it is.
He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something very important.
Of course.
Junpei, you are saying the wrong word, sir. That hadn't been the reason, of course. He had asked to take care of the rabbits so that he could be near June. There it is. But it had been so long ago, he couldn't bring himself to tell her how he felt back then. It would be embarrassing. He took a quick break to clear his head, tossed the broom up, and then snatched it out of the air.
We don't really have time to be walking down memory lane like this, you know? We've got to figure out a way out of this room. Otherwise...
Yes. I'm gonna look over there.
June nodded curtly, then turned and
I
walked
should
away.
get back to it myself. Ah! That's right. The pool of blood.
Junpei turned around and looked at the room. At Snake's body, chunks of flesh and organs still lay on the floor.
Going on and on about old times right next to a corpse? What were we doing?
And with Santa right there.
Well, maybe it was because we're in this mess.
Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead before him.
I have to survive, no matter the cost. I need to make sure she gets out too.
As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, all Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live. Broom! And I wonder, is this the stick? What if I wrap the toilet paper on the broom? Oh look, it's the stick. Oh, so you wrapped the toilet paper on the broom, huh? Looks like the symbols line up perfectly. It says 634 plus. Okay. But plus what? Can I take the bucket? Bucket. The tin bucket. Hey, Jumpy. Do you remember back in elementary school when you spilled all of our paint across the whole classroom? They made you clean it up and all they gave you was a sponge and a bucket. Like this. Oh, come on. Now, can't we just leave the past in the past? I don't think a sponge is really going to be a great job of cleaning up paint. But, you know, whatever. The bad wall that separates the toilets. Well, let's check this one. It's a water tank for a toilet. Now, I've seen a lot of OC guys trying to hide a piece in something like this. Usually for a 187 or something. Guess they think it's clever. Don't know when they'll figure out everybody else thinks it's clever too. Huh? I mean, I know peace, but what's OC? Organized crime. And what is that? Some kind of police slang? Huh? Probably. This is before he got his memory back. What'd I say? Why does he look all sad now? That's not really important right now, guys. Let's just check it out, alright? Oh, it's not wasting any time. Screwdriver. What's a screwdriver? We can unscrew things with this. There's something we need to unscrew. There it is, actually. Toilet's tank, there's nothing else in it, which means we can't flush it. Kinda hard to flush a toilet without water. But what about this part? Oh! What this? What do you think this is? Well, it looks like tar. It's kind of sticky. I don't think we can just wipe it off. I doubt just pouring some water is going to help much either. What about hot water? Hot water? If we had some really hot water, like boiling hot, then maybe that would wash it off. Fair enough. Let's check this toilet first. Might be something in the tank, you know? Let's open that shit up. A red key card. You remember if you saw a key card reader anywhere around here? Mm-hmm. Lid. And there's nothing in this toilet. If there was, that would be gross. Okay, so we have that, but first of all... bucket. We can use the shower here to fill the bucket with hot water. Hey, Seven, could you turn on the shower? I'm gonna put the bucket under the head. Okay, sure thing. Bucket filled with hot water and it doesn't spill when I flip it upside down. Look at that, it's magic. It looks like tar inside the toilet bowl. If I flush the hot water from the bucket, that should clean it up. Oh, I see. Alright, so just put the hot water into this tank and... now we can flush it. Probably a handle somewhere on the tank that you can pull. Think so? Serious? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Some pipes. That connected to the tank on the toilet. Okay, but actually, where is the... alright, whatever. 185 equals. I'm guessing that's what we're adding to the 634. So, let's just do that actually right now. That's probably the code that we need for the thing. Okay. But we do need to unscrew this thing first, apparently.
Hey, Junpei.
Yeah?
You know why thermometers only go up to 107 degrees Fahrenheit,
No.
No, I can't say I ever thought about that.
At 107 degrees, the cells in the human body start to die, and the organs begin to shut down. The proteins in your cells start to harden. It's like when you hard-boil an egg. Even if you cool it down afterwards, it won't go back to being a raw egg. In other words, it's dead. That's why thermometers don't go past 107. There's no point.
Okay.
Oh yeah?
But it's pretty rare for a fever to get that high. Even viruses and stuff don't usually drive the body temperature up to 107. Of course, there are other external things that could.
Like an incinerator?
Like what?
Also, we're on the adventure screen. What the fuck?
Well, let's see. Something like getting locked in a sauna, or getting thrown into an incinerator and burnt to death.
Yeah, I guess that would get a little hotter than 107 degrees Fahrenheit.
Junpei gave a short, barking laugh. A moment later, the screw fell off. With a small tug, Junpei pulled the thermometer from the wall.
Right, I got it.
He looked up and saw Santa glaring at a blank section of wall.
What's up?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Santa spun around and walked off, away from
What
Junpei.
was that all about?
But as Junpei watched him go, he didn't look angry. Looked very sad. Oh, you took the thermometer off. It says open at the bottom of the gauge. Wonder what it means. Maybe when it gets that hot, something will open? Probably. If I can get this hot water in the thermometer, then maybe... Alright, thermometer, let's get this party started. Looks like it's doing the trick. There goes the gauge. And now it's at the open mark. Huh? Oh, it opened. Shocker. What's this? Look at this piece of paper in here. There's another number to add. Shit. $9.57 plus. We're supposed to add something to $9.57, doesn't it? Well, yeah, I think it's easy to figure that out. The problem is what to add. Maybe the other two numbers. I mean, it would just make sense, wouldn't it? Interesting number. Well, also never fucked with this. Is this just nothing? Right on the right here must be connected to the drain in the middle of the room. If you turn on the water here, it'll probably come up through the drain. Can't put any water through the pipe on the right, though. If we do that, it'll start with from the drain. Okay. Well, I don't care. Is that how you do it? Probably not. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck we're supposed to do with that. Maybe nothing. Red light's on, Jumpy. And then... I think I'm going to press the buttons. I guess I have to get the red and blue lights to turn on first. Well, I thought... Oh, I gotta get a blue key card. Fuck. Huh? Looks like there's something down there on the grate. I think it's a card. Yeah, it's a blue card. Can't reach it, though. It's too deep. Well, now can I reach it? Is this card kind of like that red card? Oh, yeah, it looks similar. Talking about the one we found in the toilet, right? Yeah. The red card floated, didn't it? Yeah, it did. So? Well, this blue one probably floats too, right? Float. Yeah, it might. Okay, well. It does to do with this. But I don't know what side is on, what side is on. I wish I understood that. So I think that's for just a little. So let's center and right. 16 notes here. Each one's got 3 positions. Cool. Cool. LLR. Or sorry, we sprayed the luminol, but and then this has to be the instructions for that. Oh, is that the fucking light switch right here? There it is. Okay. We got this one figured out. I didn't notice the light switch before, but good to know. Now I know what to do with these handles. So, we need to be left, left, right, left, right, left. Oh, it did what it said on the wall. What if it actually did anything? Hey, this drain's acting up. What the hell did you do? I just messed with the valves a little. Nothing big. Junpei, the cart is floating. Looks like the water floated the cart up out of the drain. There's water flowing through the pipe on the right. There's water pouring out of the drain. Get the card! Yay! Great job, Junpei. Both of the lights are on now. Now you just need to put in the password. Which should be... Hang on. Come on. Oh my god, why do we have to always learn what E and C mean every time there's one of these? 1776. Time to go. Alright, and I think that's going to be a good stopping point here for today's episode. According to these after facts, so I don't really know strictly what I just did, but I hope you enjoyed what we just saw, and tune in for the next episode of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. See you all next time. Bye, everyone.